Hello and welcome. It is that of the 23rd day of October 2020. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and of the like within each's own risk and their own reward. For myself, risk reward management, always job number one. And let's go over Theta, talk about price action against Bitcoin, where I think it's going to be heading towards. And I think I can make pretty good sense of it. But before we get into all that, I want to talk about like YouTube and just a cool thing that I've been noticing really just recently, and that is regarding videos. This is a cool topic for what I do. Pat Mayo Golf is the search. As I've been following Pat for probably close to, if not longer than a decade, or ever since he's been, but close to a decade, 2014 maybe. And he's very good in the golf game, and I know very little about it. So I play fantasy sports, and golf being one of the games. And well, in here, this is the 2020 Zozo Championship DraftKings picks, golf bets, 2020 fantasy golf picks, Tiger Woods, the Masters. Just putting I've been doing more and more, just putting like stuff like that. Of course, I date mine always the same with at the end, but this is pretty cool here. You get these lines on the video, and it says in here. If you look on the left, you got a picture, and you probably noticed all that. That's been around for over a year now, I think. But that's cool. But it says core stats, and it's got the time. Then we go further, and then it goes into 10K, it says, where it says 6:02 in the time. And then it changes to 9K. And then there's a new section. Oh, Tiger Woods, the Masters in November. And then 8K, and then 8K, 10K, 7K. There's prices in fantasy sports. That's what they refer to, how much each player costs. But that's what you're looking for, and I was one of those looking for that information. This can help you fast forward and move to the sections in which you're looking for. Say if you're just looking for the bets, I can just fast forward right to here and just go boom, boom, and then I can watch this. It's a 55-minute video, but I can watch this now in or 56. I can watch this in 6 minutes now. So that's the type of cool thing, and that's something I could probably implement within what I do, especially when I do multiple different subjects and move gold, silver, 5, 6 different coins, this topic and that topic. Really makes it better to do 30, 40, 50, 60-minute videos. And I do a lot of them here and there, especially on the 20 to 40-minute range. And I don't know how long this one's going to be, but it's, again, just going to be with Theta. But if anyone's interested in how that's being done, I did a quick little look, and first search didn't find anything. When I make this video, I'm going to actually look more into my upload settings to see if there's anything. But I looked in the end, just my last one, and just quickly to see if I could find a way to put it in. Couldn't do it. This is Theta, going back to its infancy. I got the Huobi chart, just because I want to draw on this. I have the Binance one as well, but with these lines in it. However, I'm going to be drawing on here, and I'm going to go like this and remove drawings. And although they're easy, put 4 Fibonacci lines in, which is what I have. I'm just going to use this one, and I got more data. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at short-term, long-term, where I think it's going to go and why. And the short answer to where I think it's going to go is I think we are going to make a play to this Fibonacci level of 33.87 usually. I think it's going to pierce extra, albeit when it had this little run in here, it didn't do such a thing. I mean, this was a spot where we're supposed to come down here, and it didn't. If you're looking to buy on the cheap and you want to think it's going to go down here, to me, the safe way of buying is buying around 35, 36 orders there. If you're playing, it's going to hit this fib level, and I think it could barely go above it or hit, maybe you go 34. If you think it's going to go wild, go below. Maybe you can try to hit the 3,100 number. And that's, of course, if you think that this is a target you want to go after. But if you don't have anything you think you want to get into, you got a little bit of a pullback now. You also got this next level that could be support. I'll be talking about this 4,600 barrier. So, and then from where we get to this point here, I think that it's going to then... So we'll have a move. We've hit this high here over 7,000. So I think we're going to go from the 7,000 high to here, and then retrace higher, break 7,000, go probably north of 10, and well north of 12-ish or so. But I think that's conservative. It could go higher, but that's where I think the next little bit's going to happen. So point A low, point B high, point C low, point D high being 10 to 12. That is the short answer. So anyway, let's take a look at this on... Well, first of all, but let's do long-term, then do short-term. Why do I say 10,000? Let's take a look at this whole thing. So let's do longer-term analysis first. Amongst the weekly chart, we had this thing open right off the bat, a little higher than where we are now at about 5,200. And that was the high on this timer. 5,200 Satoshi, we can see on the top, open 1,006, high 5,200, low 1,006, close 1,369. We came up to this point in here with a little bit of a rally. These are the Binance highs, because that's when Binance got on the exchange. Then the November 30th, 2018 run. Now this run here, long correction. This one broke above it, but retested. But for the first time, it had a successful correction within the 18, as it didn't successfully correct it here. You could say it corrected it here, but not really though, because if you have a very fast one-day sharp sudden move, which it did, then you kind of need to support the lows instantly and then start to like break higher, sort of like it did here. So I mean, it kind of did slowly, but. And then for a move like that, you'd also kind of want to see it support, and I believe the closes even for that matter, because it is such a sharp one-day move. But with that being said, this one here did not successfully correct within the 18, and then extreme long sideways correction. So therefore, I look at this as a long sideways range with 1, 2, sort of 3, but maybe 3, 4, 5. So 4, maybe 5 hits. And as far as its level of support, again, this high is 5,200. Now within Huobi, this high was nowhere close to that at 40, rounded to 4,600. But at the same time, Binance did actually hit 52 or 51 or 53 in that area. So 51, but so 5,000 to me is what I'm going to call this as a key range area. And then support, 1,000 was pretty big. 1,000 was the support all the way through 2019. 1,000 was the low back in here, and it was even the low in this early stages. So a range of 5,000. And when I do 5,000, 1,000, when I do Fibonacci, it's high divided by low. And 5,000 divided by 1,000 is easy math. That's 5. I want to find out what the 61.8% down correction would be to determine a Fibonacci upside level. So 5,000 divided by 1. And to the downside, I need to do 1 subtracted, which is 38.2%. So 5 to the root of 0.382. And then you multiply 5 again. In doing so, you will get a number of 1,849. And then what I do is I take the high of 5,000 and I now divide by that number of 1849. That one would be about 2.6 or something. And then I would do it to the exponent of the up target, 1.618, and then multiply the low again of 1849. So the up target tells me 92.46. They usually pierce extra. And 10,000 is a psychological even number. And I wouldn't be surprised, especially how this thing pierced way lower, that this could probably pierce way higher maybe on a move towards such. So that's the general way on how I look at calculating the Fibonacci. So within such, let's take a look at why I think it's going to go to 3387 before it goes there. A phenomenal run it's been from the late July lows up to the highs that concluded early in October. So the August and September rally, a 2-month rally. And that was from the correctionary phase. The original rally was one that started pretty much like right around the whole current situation ordeal, or early April, C19. And then to the May highs. So April and May, a 2-month rally, and that corrected well. So therefore, we're seeing the price action now several days go below the 18 average of lows within the 18. It managed to come down this first line. What does this line represent? It's a Fibonacci line. It's about a 15.4% correction, or 14.5. It's 1 subtract 23.6 multiply 61.8. Really, that's exactly what it is. But to get the Fibonacci numbers, 61.8% multiply 61.8%, that gets you 38.2. If you take 38.2 and multiply 61.8 again, that gets you 23.6. You get 23.6, you multiply 61.8. Yeah, it's 14.5 or 15.4. Whatever it is, it's 1 subtract that number. That's what this number is here. Okay. So then, within it, it didn't support it that well. We came down to it on October 17th. It had a complete pause day within it on the 18th, and it finished that day on the 19th, breaking down below at the end of the day, and then the next day, just a clunker day, down 9.8%. It hasn't had any rally since then, or at least the little bit that it has, it's starting to break down below again. Hence the reason why I think, well, for now it's going to come down to here. But it's even a further long-term guess. I think if it's going to make a move down, I think it's going to be at least a 38.2% correction. But I still got to give it the benefit of the doubt. If we come down to here, and I think it will, that it could be support. We could go up to this level and break to those levels where I think we're going to. And I'm still going to be buying at this point when it gets there. In fact, I'm looking at some of my pair tradings that I have now, and I'm thinking, okay, like say LITECOIN Theta, which is exactly what I'm looking at. Do I want to buy now? I'm thinking, you know what? LITECOIN's got a good, decent rally on itself, looking like it might want to break out. And this thing tells me has a short setup that's going to at least for now go to 46. And yeah, well, if I can get another like 250 points, that's another 5% or something. Yeah, I'll take that. With that being said, let's take a look at these levels in here on a more shorter term level. So on the 4-hour term, piercing above on this, but then consolidating for a good amount. There's your little bit of a rally. Come back down to where you came from in the 18, but you can see in here, this is when you're looking at technical analysis, there's your big red candle down 8 stamp on October 19th. And you follow that through in here. That's not good. At least to just sideways it, not do much, then a couple like this. Okay, well, not surprised when you have this with the following that it had. And then since that move, 1, 2, 3 down, what it's done is just done nothing but a bunch of sideways action. And we have a spot in here where we have this level of resistance that it established. And I'm just doing that because this is annoying in here, that's why. So you can see it better. There we go. So then we have this movement, and this is a little bit of a failed breakout. Keyword is a little bit. That doesn't mean it's just going to be a small fast move lower, but it's fast move lower would be at least, probably at least down to 47.72 or the test of this low. However, with throwing that part away, you have this breakout where it's trying to break out above, and then this red candle occurs. So we have one, come down to support amongst this, resist it on this one, come back, even resist it further for a second time. And then we come back to the low, and what are we seeing on current sit or situation? Well, I'm supposed to shorten something that's got about 3 syllables, I don't know. There we go. We've already came down, we're testing this. Yeah, I don't think that this is bullish by any means. It's quite the opposite. Alrighty. I'm just undoing a bunch, just pushing controls out of my computer just so I can delete all that and keep the lines in play. So even before then, and we take a look at this on the single hour, and I didn't want to do that, so let's not do that this next time. Fool me once, and you fooled me once 1,000 times. Alrighty. Pierce above on this hour, and you're just seeing more and more of this failed move in here that came through, having an attempt to support this in here, but just not having any of it for that right now. So sellers in control of this market right now. And I feel that if we do find support coming at this next level, that it's not going to make a lower, it's going to make, but it's not going to make a higher high to the big levels of around 7,000. It's going to have some sort of retracement, whether it be weak or decent, or maybe none at all, but then go down to that 38.2. But I really feel that this rally is for real, this move that we're going to. And maybe it does what it did before, and we have this long consolidation where we go like a year where we trade at like 1,000, 1,200 and all that, or whatever, where we go down to. Like we go down to like 1,800, 2,000. I thought that. But no, I think there's a good chance that this thing is really going to get going relatively soon. Of course, short term, it made the swipe to 7,000 moving up to this point. I wasn't too sure. I gave it the benefit of the doubt that this, who knows how far this is going to go up on the way up when it came down to September 29th and 30th. And then on the rally here, who knows? Maybe this thing could get back up. It was definitely resistance, but breaking above it, and it barely did, but not really. Who knows? 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 15. Yeah, of course, those things could happen. And then we come back down in here. Well, support's established. If at any time it breaks out above, it could have big moves. Okay. And at any time, if it breaks below support, it could have a big move to the downside. And it did. Because it broke down below this on October 15th morning, around 6,000 low change. Well, right now we're 48. And it's probably going to be furthermore lower. I tried to be a poet, and I definitely wasn't. I was thinking in my head just a second, but I tried to be lower, more, whatever. Trying, okay, well, I'll just say that in the video at this time, and it'll sound good. No, it sounded like crap. But, yeah, I do think that from the looks at this, it's going to come down. Now, how long it goes down this, it could probably be like days or a couple weeks, but you never know. If this thing doesn't support, you could have like a 2-3 day event where you see like, oh, it's like a one-time stamp, it's 4,600, and maybe a day later it's on its way to where we are. We're now talking about it being at like 3,800 or down like 18% for the day, or for 2 or 3 days, or for 10 days or whatever. Who knows? But I'm rambling at this point, and I really don't have that much more to say, at least within the Theta price. Maybe I'll take a quick look at Theta against the dollar, because Bitcoin's doing well, and that's when you're looking at coins against Bitcoin. I mean, for a while, Bitcoin was around that 10,000, 11,000 number. Very easy. Oh, coins like 48 Satoshi, that's like what? 4,800 rather. Oh, 48 cents, 50, 55. Well, now it's about a 30% increase. So 5, 10, 15, we're talking like 61, 62 cents. Imagine if it's 61.8. That'd be funny. Let's do the Tether against Binance. Nope, 63. Just interesting when an inverted head and shoulders pattern could happen. Just saying. But, and if it did, all it would be is a move to the next key level, previous high. But anyway, levels of resistance majorly established. Well, not majorly, but established, because it came up to it October 18th, 19 stamp 5 days ago, and then yesterday's 6-hour stamp. Left shoulder, head. We're at now this previous level of support. So if it does bottom now and does this, it would be an inverted head and shoulders pattern. But regardless of whether it bottoms now, goes down a bit further, goes down even to here, retests this level, even goes down here, getting above this is where, okay, now you can start talking about making a test at the previous highs, very much near 80 cents at that point. Alrighty then. So daily chart on this. It's all. Bitcoin's bullish, but this one here is starting to show signs of reversal or retracement mode. Holy crap! What a beautiful move from this low to this high. And I'll give you a bonus fib. Why not? I'm not a dollar trader against this. Although I thought about it barely. I even thought about Binance coin. I just started trading it for about a few hours, and then I thought, nah, I don't feel like it. I traded a lot as it is anyway, but with all the other coins, I pretty much trade against almost everything that I owned against on a regular basis, other than Bitcoin, and I think Grostal, everything else, and Huobi. No, Grostal coin I do trade against. Huobi, no, not Huobi. H-bar I think is the only one I don't trade against, and that's for the time being, because once Theta has the next key leg higher, I'm going to do that. Anyway, that's like neither here nor there for what I'm doing. So you have this kilo, like 5 cents, and then it goes up to like 70 cents. These things can have wild moves, and then we're going to be talking about multiple dollars and then dozens of dollars, and will 3 figures plus come into play? Time will only tell, but high divided by low to the key exponent. So let's try to determine what the exact numbers that I'm going to use, and then we'll call it a video. I really can't use this low of 3.5 cents. I mean, I could, I suppose. You know, I got to find out if I can or not. See, what I'm doing is I'm clicking on 1 hour and I'm just going to scroll all the way back. I just want to see the legitimacy of it. Is this like a normal capitulation down move that happened back then? Or was this just a big flash move where someone barely sold it? It was barely there at that time. Am I not going to get the data for it? Oh, man, that sucks. I've lost my premium services that I've had, but they've gotten rid of all those annoying ads, which kind of I think is a mistake on TradingView's point. It was way too aggressively bad, and at least maybe Brave has done something to get rid of it. And I'm just trying to find out. All right, I'm gonna, I guess, not do that. How am I not getting April? I'm gonna use the lows. March 13th. Let me just remember the date this time. March 13th. Yeah, I gotta use it. See, if I know it's a real sell-off move, then I find it as a key thing because the market went down, up, down like that. Yeah, but if there's a spot where just someone has just a big flash move that just goes down and instantly comes back up, I don't like to count it. So the low on this is 3.5 cents. So that's what I'm going to put in here. Is 3.55 cents. I'm going to do this all in pennies. And then the high. Well, this took longer than it should have. But I guess that came because everything before this was planned on what I was going to do, and then like this wasn't. I mean, so 80 cents exact, I guess, but 79.89 if I want to be exact. Okay, so the key levels and 76.4 to the downside is 38 cents. And then going below that is 24. Oh, I want to put them in. I was going to say, I'm just going to just leave it off. But see, I'm the type of person that would just put lines in there and just look at them a long ways back later. So I'm going to literally do that. And again, we got 38, 31. So this is where you would need to do, as I mentioned at the start of the video. Close enough. This is where you would need, like that better, like the Fibonacci is below the, higher than 76.4, which is 85. So we're going to calculate that actually as well. I'm just going to put the next two in, 24.32 after that. And usually these things, if you calculate, should oftentimes coincide with key spots. And I mean, the 24 kind of does in a way. And then does anything happen to be around like this 13.5 area? 11.6. So yeah, Pierce Extra. Yeah, it's maybe not. Not really, actually. No. See, this is what I like about doing Fibonacci on the fly, baby. I've got to think that this number just doesn't seem right there. I mean, really, the lowest it should be is around like 12.7 or so, and really it should be even closer to like 13.5 or higher. So that tells me that this isn't the key high number for this run. Well, at least mathematically we'll see, but anyway. And then that just goes with what I've been saying the whole time. I think this sell-off that I think is coming up is that just a correctionary phase that's going to exceed the highs. Okay. But for now, let's just take a look to see let me just put the lines in for now, because I'd be deleting them if it breaks the high anyway, but 24.32, let's just put, I already got that in. So then, let's calculate the next few numbers, and we use a calculator for that. So it's 79.89 divided by 355. Okay, so a 22x move to the root of, and before we do that, let's just show you here. If I multiply this number, okay, come on, clear that. This is, how do I, see, my calculator doesn't have, let me just use my calculator then. See, what I don't like about this calculator here is I got x to the power of 2. Oh, here's right here. Where? I've never seen that. Okay, anyway. So you got 38.2, 23.6, 14.6. So minus 1 on that's 85.4%. 85.4, okay. So that divided by 355 to the root of 0.854. Multiply the low of 355. For 48 cents. 48. I'm thinking 48. How's that so high? 48.5 cents. And viewing that, that would be like the next key level, maybe before 38 even. So then let's calculate the one even before then. $9.01. So the 91% mark. 79.89 divided by 355 to the root of 0.91. Multiply 355 again. Now we're talking 60 1/3 for pennies, which is the general area where we are now. So a 9% correction from the lows. And you can see it's had that support in there. And this is where it becomes like an ultimate test. So we have key low to this high. It's the first rally that it's had. It's been a pretty okay one, but I mean, it's got do a lot more. If you see the first retracement of the comeback after the first rally from a key point like this, and it doesn't do so well, then it's not going to succeed too well, most likely here, as it congests for whatever time it does. Probably going to break through this and then head lower, of course, to the next one, relatively convincingly. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.